Okay, good morning. We are going to try our hand at a all-grain brew, my first all-grain brew. It's going to be a red, single grain. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know what to expect out of this, but I got my 8 gallons of water right there. I'm going to do a 5-gallon kit. Got my grains and my brew in a bag. So we'll get her loaded up. So fun discovery. This is 8 gallons of water. I thought this thing could hold 10 gallons, but it does not. It holds 8 comfortably. So that'll be a note down for the future. So we got to get this up to about 165, 170 before we can drop our grain in, and then we'll let that steep for about an hour, and we'll come back then. All right, so once we get the grains in, I'm going to use some of this stuff, sunscreen stuff, to wrap around the kettle here to try to keep as much heat in there as possible. I'm also going to grab a couple old blankets and throw it on top. I don't think it's gonna be too hard to keep the temperature out here in Phoenix, so that'll be a plus. Yeah. So now we gotta wait. I think we were at 120 last I checked, so we got a few more minutes before we hit the 170 mark that I want to get to before we drop our grain. Okay. So we were 162. My brain just stopped. Yeah, so here in a couple minutes I'm actually going to pull my grain, drop it in, and cut the flame for an hour. Alright, so we got the flame as low as possible. We're still climbing, so I'll probably have to cut it completely. This is my bag of grain. Sorry, I'm one-handed. Okay, well, next time we'll ask the wife for help. Burb. Okay, we reset here. Cut the lid off. We're still in a good temp. Here's my grain, 11 pounds. Oh no, too much water. Oh crap. Okay, be right back again. Alright, so I killed my flame altogether. Very gingerly push that in there. I'm going to throw my lid on it, throw a couple blankets on there, and just watch the temperature. See you in an hour. So a couple quick lessons learned. 1, get the wife or somebody to help with lowering the grains in. 2, I guess it's just the one. Yeah, get a hand with the grains. It took a little bit of effort by myself to do that, especially if I'm going to be doing multiple types of grain. I'm looking at the screen, not that, which is weird, I'm sorry. So we're holding that just at about 175, pretty good right now. I got my timer on for an hour, so I'll come back out in about 20 minutes just to see what the temperature's at, and we'll go from there. Oh, you can't see my face because of this. Alright, so I pulled my blankets off. I've been sitting out here for about an hour, and this temperature has not moved. I guess that's a good thing about Phoenix and brewing. You don't really got to worry too much about that. I'm just concerned about the flavor now. It's supposed to steep at 155 degrees, not nearly 80, so we'll see how it goes. I know you guys are probably tired of seeing this angle of my kettle, but I'm hideous. So, got my spatula here. We got about another 2 minutes left on the steep, or the mash, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to open her up. I'm going to kind of mix the grains around just a little bit, you know, swish, wash, swish, and then we will pull the bag, let it drip, and then start the boil, throw our hops. See, not very pretty. All right, so I just, mix it up a little bit. I'm gonna pull. Oh shit. Oh my god, that is heavier than I expected, and I pierced my bag. Ow, that was hard on my toes. There's my ball. Oh. I said dismiss. This looks delicious, by the way. It smells better. Look at this. Look at that. Try to squeeze some of this stuff out. And get as much of this deliciousness out as I can. We'll be back. Alright, so I got the heat back on. We dropped down to about 160 degrees, so doing all that. Looks like we lost a bit of water, a bit of wort. We have wort now. I'm gonna go get my Irish moss and my first bag of hops, and we will start the hour boil once it's ready to go. Well, that didn't take long. It's boiling in there a little bit already. I'm gonna grab my hops and whatnot and start my timer. Look at that. Oh my god, it smells amazing. So these are my hops. I'm gonna do one at the beginning of the boil, and then we'll do ½ ounce of another bag at 10 minutes left, and then we'll have the rest of that other ½ ounce in when we complete our boil. I'm also going to be adding some Irish moss in there too, to see if I can't get a clearer beer at the end. But oh my god, I wish you guys can smell this. This is amazing. I love brewing beer so much. All right, so the boil has officially started. We're 220 degrees, so I'm going to drop my hops in. Got one more in there. Come on, buddy. There you go. And start my hour time. Well, 50 minutes, and then add my second thing of hops in there. So we'll be back in about 50 minutes. So I realized I forgot my camera when I did my Irish moss and the hops. So, sorry. I used my phone for that, and it'll be up on TikTok. But we got about another minute and a half or so, maybe 5 minutes, something like that, of boil time left. And then there's my fermenter, some sanitizer in it. These guys right here. I got 2 of these, and then 3 or 4 2-liter bottles of frozen water. I'm going to use them as ice wands to kind of cool things down quickly, or quicker, I guess. And then we will rehydrate our yeast and pitch, and then walk away for 2 weeks. Alright, so me and the wife got it moved in the garage a little bit. Got my 1 gallon of frozen water. Took the cap off so heat can release. And we're just going to slowly set it in. Mind you, these bottles have been sanitized beforehand. Yeah, I've got some more sitting in the freezer right now that I'm going to use later once these melt out. I'm trying to do my best to not have to buy too much stuff. I'm going to probably purchase some of those soup ice wands later. But for now, this was going to have to work. So we'll cool her down, and we'll get my yeast started, and then we'll pitch.